Thank you for joining us at Global Village today. We are airing the program from Medicine College in Brooks, County of Newell, first time. And we are very honored to have both Brian Jong from Deputy Reeve of the County of Newell, Cindy Simpson she's the Health Foundation President of this area, Brooks and County of Newell. Both of you, welcome to the program.
Thank
you
for
having us.
Thank you very much. Cindy, you want to tell us a little bit about yourself first before Health Foundation?
Before the Health Foundation.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I guess I've lived in Brooks for the last 30 years. I worked in Calgary, actually, and commuted back and forth for 25. I've been retired for 5 years, and I currently chair the Health Foundation in Brooks, and I do actually work with other charitable donations or charitable organizations in Brooks as well.
Thank you very much. That's a nutshell. Okay, tell us about the Health Foundation.
The Brooks and District Health Foundation is a foundation that's established to distribute all donated funds that come into the hospital through the foundation. I think if you did a tour of our hospital, you'd find that a significant portion of the new equipment, chairs, the palliative care beds, were all funded by the foundation, and that's donated, 100% donated dollars. So every dollar we receive goes back into healthcare in Brooks and District. Not $1 is used for administration, and not $1 is used for anything but enhancing healthcare in Brooks.
Wow, that's very great. I think health is extremely important for the community, and I think we have our deputy Reeve, Brian. I think probably can test that one. So Brian, you want to tell us a little bit about yourself before the Health Foundation?
I'm actually born in Brooks 53 years ago, and raised here, except for some education that took me away from this community. But when I came back to Brooks after my education, I farmed here for a number of years with my brother on a family farm, and had a dairy farm. And when we retired from dairy farming, then I had an opportunity and was asked to run for a position on county council, and took up that challenge, and that's 8 years ago, and I've enjoyed it immensely. The ability to meet people and talk to people and communicate with them and understand and try to understand what issues are is really fascinating for me, and I've really enjoyed it.
So you're from Dutch then?
Pardon me?
You are from Dutchess area?
I live in the Dutchess area. I represent the area right around Dutchess. It's, Division 8 is the area.
Oh, it's called Division 8?
Yes, Division 8, and it's the area that surrounds Dutchess, basically, from the Red Deer River south to north of Brooks.
So what do you think the population of Dutchess very much smaller than Bassano, or very similar?
It's somewhat smaller than Bassano. It's about, I think the last census came in at about 1,100 people. And but it is a growing community.
Yeah.
They have a new facility there, a new soccer facility. It replaced the one that burnt down a couple of years ago, and they've done a fantastic job. It is a beautiful facility, and we hope that to get lots of people out there with indoor soccer to be able to enjoy that facility. And the county helped with insurance for the old facility to facilitate some of the construction and the work that's been done. But the Dutchess Village has done an exceptional job in rebuilding and making that a first-class facility. So I'd encourage anybody that has a chance to get out there and see it. Would be it's outstanding. And again, going back to the community itself, there's 2 or 3 or 4 houses that are built there every year, and it's growing. It's a young community. There's lots of young families that are moving into that area. A lot of them work within the community and with the school, and the K-12 school, and hockey rinks, hall, golf course. It's all very, very nice area to live in, and I think that's done a good job to attract people to that area. So
that's very good, and I think I have also heard from group of people who played inside soccer before it went down.
Mm-hmm.
And they were very happy to go there, and they liked it very much. And I believe now there will be another inside soccer from Brooks also, which is going to be completed by 2016.
Yeah, that's their goal. I mean, I think they got a few setbacks, but in the interim, at least, it gives those young people, especially the young Grassland Soccer Association, is able to access a facility that meets their needs, and I think that they're looking at it as an opportunity when both of the communities have a soccer facility to be able to host some bigger tournaments, and actually they feel that there will be a need for both soccer pitches in as an indoor facilities, and even though they're 15 minutes apart or 15, 16 kilometers apart, there still could be a use for both of them, and they're multi-use facilities as it is. They can be used for lacrosse and indoor soccer or indoor hockey and stuff like that, for field hockey house, that kind of stuff. So yeah,
that's very good. I think I have a lot of good things anyway, so good for the Dutch people. I had a lot of good things, especially from the immigrant population.
Yes, you're right.
I had a lot of good things about some of them went there for inside soccer, some of them goes there for I believe for weddings and things like that. There is also a big hall from Dutch that they go for weddings. So very good hospitality and very great people, they said. So good job for them.
Yeah.
Good job for the Dutch people, and that's what we need for the county. Yeah, you want to touch base with the program that you have championing for the kidney dialysis?
Sure. We're currently starting a fundraising program for the next 3 years. We're working to make dialysis treatments in Brooks a reality. We are looking to raise a total of $1.5 million towards developing a 6-unit dialysis facility in Brooks Hospital. We have our first fundraising event, which we're calling the Fashion Frenzy Live Auction and Gala, and it is held at the Heritage Hotel on October 10th, and that is our first official fundraiser for dialysis and to bring dialysis into Brooks.
Wow, that's so. In fairness, so either the city or the county, we don't have any such kidney dialysis.
No, currently our dialysis patients they commute anywhere up to 2 hours each way to a dialysis facility, either in Calgary or in Medicine Hat. It's a 4-hour treatment. It has to be done 3 times a week. There is no missing. It's life-saving treatments. So it's basically a life sentence. It's 3 times a week for the rest of your life, and no opportunity to miss. So our patients, certainly in our catchment area, would, I'm sure, greatly appreciate not having to endure the commute every single day or 3 times a week, and it would save them probably anywhere between 2 and 4 hours each time. It is a 4-hour treatment, so you still have the 4-hour treatment, but to have the facility in Brooks, it really is just a benefit for everybody. Kidney disease, which I'm not a doctor, so I won't claim to be an expert, from what I understand, it's kind of one of those silent diseases. You really don't know that you have it until you're in a fairly late stage. Dialysis and kidney disease is something that could affect any family in our district. And we just felt as a foundation it was the priority right now, and so we're going to work to bring it to Brooks.
No, that's so. When you say 4 hours, are you talking about 4 hours each treatment?
Each treatment it takes approximately 4 hours. Some are a little longer, some are a little shorter, but each treatment is approximately 4 hours. And most of our patients in our catchment area, they commute anywhere from 1 to 2 hours each way to get the treatments.
So the commuting is also extra apart from the treatment.
Over and above the 4 hours, yes.
Wow, that's no. So what is the goal that you need to reach, for example, for the dialysis?
We're looking to raise $1.5 million to bring a complete dialysis unit to Brooks, including all of the supporting infrastructure around it, including information clinics and such. It's about $3.5 million, and we do already have space allotted in the hospital in Brooks for it. The portion that we're looking to raise is $1.5 million, which is about $500,000 for equipment, and the rest we'd use towards the infrastructure development. The remainder of the money, it would actually come through government grants and through Alberta Health Services. And then you have a $600,000 operating cost annually for a dialysis unit, and that's actually been approved by Alberta Health Services already. So.
Wow, that's good. So we do have our Deputy Reeve. So any cooperation from the county side on what Cindy is?
Well, we certainly support it in the principle and the ability for what Cindy's putting forth, and I look at it from this point of view, is that we were always trying to attract people and to keep our residents in our community, and if you are subject to this disease with dialysis, it changes your life, and unfortunately, when these patients a lot of them end up moving to the centers that have them, whether it's in our case, whether it's Drumheller, Calgary, or Medicine Hat, because it's too taxing on their life and their family to be able to go to treatment and then still reside in their community. So it ends up being a loss for us as a county and for the community, in that these people end up having to move to these centers. So that's one of the things that becomes, I think, critical, is that if we would be able to facilitate and have this dialysis done in Brooks, it would allow these families to maintain their life and to carry on with their livelihood and the way that their families can stay in our community.
That's very nice of you, Brian, saying that, because I think it's extremely important for the county, the city, and others to support such program. And if Drumheller, which a small city, I think, they have the facility, I think if we put together, I think something concrete, I think the city and the county can have one of our own, and that will save also time traveling of those patients. And as you said, it will also help the residents to stay in our community, not to go or not to leave from the community, which is retention of our residents. Mm-hmm. If someone is suffering from that kind of disease, the family will have an option also, and will be extremely push for them also to move to where their person will get the treatment, mm-hmm. whether it's Medicine Hat or Drumheller or any other facility that's closer to them. Mm-hmm. So that right. will be a loss for the community to have a whole family move out of the community. So I think it's extremely important to have such facility if it's visible, and I think it's visible, can be done. If there is a will, there is a way.
I think that's a really good point too. It's not just the patient that we lose the entire family
mm-hmm.
with the patient, of course. And in any rural community, you're looking to retain your citizens.
In the long run, and Brian said exactly the same. And I think the coming back also the Health Foundation, which is extremely important for the residents of the county and the city. Apart from the fundraising, is there also a support from the Alberta Health Services themselves?
Well, the Health Foundation is actually there more to support Alberta Health Services than the other way around. Mm-hmm. The Health Foundation is actually the vehicle. We have an independent board, and the board comes from all sectors. We have a representative from the county, we have a representative from the city, and we have representatives from all the different districts in the area. And really it's there to administer the funds and to really take a step back and look at those funds and see what we as a board believe is the best spend for the donated dollars. Not every dollar that goes in is going to be allocated to dialysis. You always have the choice to donate to any specific area that you'd like. when I just think back in the last year of some of the things that we've brought into Brooks, we just brought in a brand new ultrasound machine, which was in excess of $100,000. We also brought in a portable ultrasound machine for the maternity group so that they can
Wow.
relieve some of the burden on our ultrasound units, so they can do ultrasound right in the maternity area, just as a time saver. We've purchased the majority of the new palliative care beds that are in the hospital. Just to name a few, we did some surgical equipment for podiatry surgery in Brooks Hospital. So one of the goals is to be, one of the leaders in podiatry surgery in Alberta, and we've come a long way in achieving that goal. There are so many things that the foundation has funded that I could go on for a month, and I won't do that. So. But just to say that there is just, the need is, we just have a great community. The community has been very supportive of us, and we really hope that they'll get behind the foundation and support this fundraiser for the next 3 years.
Yeah, we are very blessed with a good community. What I meant was, if you raise 1.5 million, for example, would that be, 1.5 million? So would Alberta Health Services match up that 1.5 million in either in kind or
There's basically 3 different pieces. There's the piece that we're working on, which is the 1.5 million. That will cover all of the equipment costs, so all of the dialysis units. And then there's the infrastructure piece, which is approximately $3 million to do the infrastructure. And a lot of that is because we have to put a reverse osmosis water system in, because the water, obviously for dialysis, has to be very clear. And then we have a operating cost, which is ongoing for the rest of the life of the unit. The operating cost has already been supported by Alberta Health Services.
Okay.
The remainder of the infrastructure development cost will likely come more through provincial government grants. Some dollars may come from Alberta Health Services, but most of it will probably come through provincial government grants.
Okay, no, that's good. Yeah, Brian, is there for example, a physician in Dutch then? In Dutchess, or
I'm
other
not aware
small
of
towns?
one.
Do we have, like, for example, or county people have to come to Brooks?
Yes, the county people would come to Brooks for
Okay.
their physician appointments. I'm not aware of where the physicians live in our county, but
No, I mean, is there a small clinic they have in Dutchess?
yeah, they don't
or-
have a clinic. in
Okay, they don't
Dutchess.
have. Okay, that's what I meant. Yeah, okay, they don't have clinics, so it's only then they come to Brooks or Bassano.
Yes.
Yes,
Or
Bassano.
Bassano. Bassano doesn't have clinic. I think they have only hospital.
Right, and that's more of an emergency hospital?
It's a long-term care
Long-term,
type
right,
hospital,
yeah.
and but they do have an emergency unit that they can treat patients at, whether they're as a hospital, they are a fully functioning hospital when it comes to emergency but it's primarily used. I think there's 8 or 10 beds there for long-term care type patients. And now I think there's 2 doctors
Yeah.
there now. So
Yeah, I think one just arrived in April. I think.
that's correct.
The new
Dr. Gobi.
South African doctor. Yeah, very young guy, and I think they have Dr. Jim. I think
Dr. Richards.
Richard. Yeah, he's been there almost 13, 14 years. I think he was the only doctor. So now they have another one.
Yes.
So they were very excited. We attended the gala reception they had for the new doctor, and they did very well. I think Bassano had a very well gala reception for the new doctor and the old doctor, and there's a nurse, I believe there's a lady, she's been there also many years there, I guess. So they have 3 people, and it was a very well done, the gala reception. The county people were there.
Not this county person, but the rest of them were. But
Yeah, no, I think
there was other representatives
Simpson.
from the county there.
Yeah,
My other half was
God
there.
was there, yeah. Yeah, God was there. I seen God, and he was there, yeah. So, no, there was representation from the county, that's,
Right.
yeah, and the city as well, I think. Martin and Barrymore Shield also, they were there for that. Yeah, you said you came also your heritage is from Dutch.
From Holland.
Dutch,
The
Holland, is it the
Netherlands,
same?
Yeah, well,
Well, the Dutch people live in Holland.
Yes.
Oh, the nation is Holland, then
Holland.
the Dutch
Or the
is-
Netherlands. It's actually called the Netherlands, but anyways.
Okay, and then the Holland is called also
Yeah.
same. And then the Dutch are the Dutch people. And you speak the Dutch language
I
then?
do, a little bit. If you put me in a room with about 5 Dutchmen and they all speak the language, I might only catch every third or fourth word, but I will know if they're talking about me or not.
No, that's good. No, that's good. At least it gives someone to have an alternative language than the English.
Mhm.
So that makes you bilingual, sort of. If you're
Sort
not,
of,
yeah,
yeah.
sort
Yeah.
of, yeah. If you're not fluent in Dutch, but at least we have a lot of South African doctors, which I believe they speak Afrikaner,
Mhm.
which is mixed with Dutch and African.
Yes.
I think language. That's what they call Afrikaner.
Yeah.
But you understand also when they're speaking
I can understand some of it. It's,
the Afrikaner. It's
yeah.
very similar with the Dutch language.
Mhm. Yeah, there's similarities definitely. So.
Oh, okay, there's similar. Well, at least you have a very. It's always good to keep that heritage, so that pass to your kids also, so they know that one day the family came from Holland and other places in Europe. For Simpson case, I think Simpson is a British name, if I'm not
British
mistaken.
Scottish, actually. Yeah.
Oh, British Scottish, yeah. Yeah, so that's because when I first met you, De Jong, I thought I always ask, De Jong, is it British name? No, it's not a British name. So I always think, ask him the right time. So it's not even Dutch name, it's French then.
The name itself, yeah, its heritage. We believe goes back to the French, but I don't think anybody's, not in our family, has done any kind of genealogical research, so to speak. So.
Okay, no,
Maybe
that's-
we're scared to go back there. You'd probably end up either in prison or or a criminal or something like that. Either royalty or criminal. I'm not
One
sure.
of the two. So be positive. Maybe you might end up being royalty.
Yeah.
Yeah, you never know. I think that's the. Yeah, I was also talking to Molly about the county, which is very notable to mention to you as well. Is the relationship that you have, the county municipality and the city municipality, is something that can be a role model for other municipalities, either through Alberta or through Canada, because you have a very solid relationship with the two municipalities, which is not that easy case for some other municipalities around Alberta or maybe in Canada. If you do the research, they don't get along. But having these two municipalities have a very good, solid relationship, especially for the past many years.
Well, and I would even extend that to beyond the city-county thing. I think we probably were the first two to start down that road, but certainly our relationship with the other municipalities within the county, whether it's Bassano, Dutchess, Rosemary, and formerly Tilley, was a big positive thing for our whole area, not only just the county administration and our county people, but also for the other communities. I equal it to working with within your community other groups. You get way more accomplished working together
Yeah.
with other people than you do trying to do things alone. And that transcends any group, organization, or even within your own families.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
There's a place sometimes to do stuff alone when you have to stand on your own feet. But if you can certainly work with other groups, and that I would extend that to even the EID. Like our Eastern Irrigation District, we've began working closely with them a number of years ago, and it's paid off incredibly well, and some of the projects that we've done together, and we continue to look for different relationships, some of them even beyond our borders, with other counties and municipalities that are bordering our community, because you don't know where things go, and definitely if we can look beyond that border, I think it'd be positive for all of us.
No, you said well. You said well, because the fact still remains is having this economic turnaround and all these difficulties that people are predicting in terms of oil is very low and all that stuff. Those projections, I think, it's good to promote the county and have that relationship with other counties and other places. That will also promote the tourism for other people to come to the county place, and vice versa. they can't be able
Exactly.
to go. So tourism is also a very important fact of economic growth.
Hmm. Exactly, yeah. Tourism and economic growth, they hinge on being a positive place to live and to work. And I think we've done a good job there. We're never done. We have to continue to do a better job yet. And it's always I don't want to say struggle, but it is work, and sometimes you don't see the benefits of the stuff you do till years later. And so it's hard to measure that. But I think it doesn't stop us from, or I hope it won't stop us from continuing to do the work that we need to do to attract not only tourism but our communities and businesses to look at our area and say, is that someplace we want to invest in and be part of and build on that positive spirit that we have in this area.
Let's just say that I, for one, probably will say you guys are doing a great job.
Well, thank you.
Yeah. Cindy, what will be your message to the viewers, for example, in general, that in terms of what you just mentioned for the final note?
I would probably say on behalf of the foundation and our board, we're very grateful for the citizens of Brooks and District and the county. They've been very supportive of the foundation, and it's really helped to make Brooks and District hospitals and medical facilities a much better place for our community.
What will be your message to the viewers in terms either the county and people to involve with many issues, including the health?
Well, and I'm going to put a plug in for Cindy and her group, because they've done a fantastic job, over the years in raising money and putting those critical things that are needed, the extras, I call them, and the extras become the essentials, for some of the work they've done. And so take my hat off to that group. And there's other ones, but I think today let's talk about the Health Foundation and the goal they've set, and that we need to get on board and to help. And we know this community will do that. We know they've been generous, and we look forward to that and supporting Cindy and her group and being able to put this great project forward.
Thank you very much. I think you said well, and I think this project will probably see the light of the tunnel very soon. As you mentioned, we have a great community, and they will raise this cause, and they will definitely make this happen in reality. So that's the hope, and that we'll see, time will tell. And thank you very much, Mr. Brian, for having the time. Especially when we invite you the last minute. So we thank you very much for coming to Global Village, and especially today's a special one. We're airing from Medicine Hat College, Brooks, County of New York. So this is a special for Global Village. So thank you very much for coming, sir.
Thank you very much, and it's always a pleasure, and you do such a good job for our community. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Brian. Cindy, as always, thank you very much.
And thank you for having us.
As
and
Brian
we
said,
appreciate it.
Yeah, his hat's off. Mine is also off.
Thank
so
you.
I consider myself also a black cowboy, so that's just yeah. So he's a true cowboy, black cowboy, so we're all cowboys.
There you go.
Yeah, there you go. So we take our hats off for you and your team. This is the end of Global Village program for today. We're airing today special from Medicine Hat College, Brooks Campus, County of Newell, and that's the beginning of today. So we are very honored to air the program from within the community. This is where East meets with the West, and I take the opportunity also to thank County of Newell, City of Brooks, Medicine Hat College for their continued support of the program. Until then, thank you very much, and I hope you will join us next time. God bless you all.